We're told that loving crowds means you're healthy and avoiding them means something is wrong. But people who avoid crowds aren't defective or behind, they're responding to the world in a different way. Their mind processes stimulation, emotion, and energy on a deeper level than most. And understanding this can completely shift how you see your need for quiet. So, like the video, subscribe, and let's unpack what psychology really says. Number 1. Sensory overload from a highly sensitive nervous system. Have you ever wondered why a crowded place can drain you in minutes while others seem energized for hours? Psychology suggests this isn't about tolerance or attitude, but about how much information your nervous system takes in at once. In busy environments, your brain doesn't dim the lights or lower the volume the way most people's brains do. It absorbs everything in high resolution: the conversations overlapping, the movement in your peripheral vision, the emotional tone in the room. While others unconsciously filter most of this out, your mind stays fully open, processing details most people never register. That level of input requires real effort. So when you feel exhausted after what looks like a simple outing, it's not weakness or low stamina. It's mental work happening quietly and constantly. Your nervous system is running at full capacity, not malfunctioning. And that constant awareness doesn't just apply to sounds or sights, it also extends to something far less visible but just as heavy: the emotional atmosphere around you. Number 2, sensitivity as an evolutionary survival advantage. What if the very thing that overwhelms you in modern crowds once kept people like you alive? Long before packed rooms and constant noise existed, heightened sensitivity played a critical role in survival. Brains wired like yours were especially good at noticing subtle shifts: an unfamiliar sound, a sudden change in energy, a movement that didn't belong. That early detection mattered. It gave time to react, to protect, to prepare. Overstimulation today isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's a sign that your alert system is still highly active in a world that rarely goes quiet. Your nervous system is designed to notice first, not ignore. And while that can feel like a burden in busy spaces, it also means your awareness runs deeper than most. That depth doesn't stop at physical surroundings either. It naturally pulls you into sensing what's happening inside other people, even when no one says a word. Number 3, emotional absorption and hyper-empathy in groups. Have you noticed how you can walk into a room and feel something is off before anyone speaks? That's because your brain doesn't just register people, it mirrors them. In crowded spaces, this becomes intense. You're not only managing your own internal state, you're unconsciously picking up on everyone else's tension, excitement, frustration, or unease. It's like your emotional radar is constantly scanning, even when you wish it would turn off. This is what psychologists often describe as hyperempathy. It allows you to understand people deeply, sometimes without words, but it also means your system carries more emotional weight than most. While others experience crowds as social noise, you experience them as layered emotional input. That's why fatigue hits fast. You're processing what's spoken, what's hidden, and what's felt beneath the surface all at once. This sensitivity makes you emotionally intelligent, but it also asks more from your mind. And beneath that emotional load, there's an even deeper reason crowds feel unrewarding on a chemical level. Number 4, distinct brain chemistry and reward systems. What if crowds don't energize you simply because your brain isn't wired to be rewarded by them? For many people, social stimulation triggers dopamine, the chemical linked to excitement and motivation. But your brain releases far less of it in noisy, crowded environments. Instead of feeling charged, you feel flooded. Your system responds by pulling back, signaling that there's too much input and not enough meaning. What does reward you is something different. Your brain leans more heavily on acetylcholine, a chemical associated with focus, reflection, and deep thought. Quiet moments don't drain you, they unlock clarity. That's when your thinking sharpens and your inner world comes alive. So when you seek silence, you're not escaping life. You're accessing the state where you function best, and once you understand that, it becomes easier to see why shallow interaction feels so uncomfortable in the first place. Number 5, aversion to social masking and surface-level interaction. Why does being around a lot of people sometimes feel more exhausting than being alone all day? In crowded settings, most social interaction becomes performance. People smile when they don't feel it, speak without meaning it, and follow scripts that keep things light but distant. Your mind notices that disconnect immediately. You pick up on tone shifts, forced laughter, and the quiet tension between words and emotions. That's why small talk feels draining instead of neutral. It's not conversation itself that tires you out, it's the lack of honesty in it. Your brain craves coherence, not noise, depth, not display. When interactions stay on the surface, your system stays alert, searching for something real to land on. This doesn't make you antisocial, it makes you selective. You'd rather connect deeply with a few people than skim the surface with many. And that preference naturally pulls you towards spaces where you don't have to perform either, where your energy can finally settle. Number 6, solitude as strategic regulation, not avoidance. What if your need for alone time isn't withdrawal but calibration? Solitude gives your nervous system room to breathe. Without constant input, your thoughts organize themselves, emotions soften, and your body slowly returns to balance. This isn't isolation or numbing, it's active processing. In quiet moments, you're not running away from life, you're integrating it. That's why silence feels honest to you. It's the only space where nothing is demanded and nothing has to be filtered. And the more you understand this, the clearer it becomes that avoiding crowds isn't about fear. It's about regulation, about knowing what environments allow you to stay grounded. That awareness quietly leads to something even more important, learning how to protect your energy on purpose. Number 7, intentional boundary setting and energy protection. What if avoiding crowds is actually a sign of self-trust? Over time, you learn that not every environment deserves your energy. Loud, chaotic spaces pull too much from your nervous system, and you feel the cost almost immediately. So you begin to choose differently. You arrive with limits. You leave when your body signals it's time. You create small rituals afterward to reset and recover. This isn't avoidance, it's precision. You're listening to signals most people ignore until burnout forces them to stop. When you protect your peace, your sensitivity stops feeling like a liability and starts functioning like guidance. You select environments that support clarity instead of chaos, depth instead of noise. And in those spaces, your awareness becomes an advantage rather than a drain. You think more clearly. You feel more aligned. You show up as yourself, not as a performance. And that's the part most people miss. You're not stepping away from life. You're choosing the conditions where you can fully live it. Nothing about you needs fixing, especially your instinct to step away from noise. Your mind was built for clarity, not constant input, and that changes how you move through the world. There's strength in knowing which environments let you stay whole. If this brought a sense of relief, you can like the video and subscribe for more like this. And when you're ready, the next conversation continues, because these 9 weird traits might mean you're way smarter than you think.